Hi, welcome to UCR FBLA's podcast. I'm Azure and I'm the Director of Outreach.
Hi, and I'm Kevin, the Vice President of Outreach.
And we're from a student org called FBLA that helps members develop personally and professionally. And we created this podcast to give further insight on being a UCR student as well as a student professional. We host weekly meetings every Wednesday at 7:30 where we challenge our members to push themselves to be better.
Yeah. So this week's topics will be on building healthy college habits. A lot of us come into college, especially during this time of Corona. It's really important to build those strong, lasting habits that will help you be successful throughout college and hopefully in life. Zara, what are maybe some habits that you currently have that you think are healthy and that can help others, or maybe some habits that you want to build that you believe will help others?
Yeah, I personally like to take my classes, even if they're asynchronous, during the time periods that they're assigned in. And I try to maintain a schedule and a routine. That way I don't fall behind in my classes and I don't get disorganized or forget anything important. And then I also try to, I don't know if this is more academic, but I try to eat dinner and lunch at around the same time period every day. So I have a better internal clock. But what do you do?
Yeah, definitely. Let me think. So what I do, so there's a habit I've been trying to build. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. I know that is a goal. It's especially hard as a college student when you have homework, and sometimes you just have to stay up to finish that assignment. But I've been really trying to make sure I get most of my stuff done during the day so I can build those healthy sleeping habits, because I've heard that if you can lock down that habit, you'll actually feel well rested most days, even if you don't get 10 hours of sleep. But I would say
that's interesting.
I would say one college habit I do currently have is I think I do so the habit is to not multitask and to block your times effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Basically studying habits, right? I make sure that when I'm studying, I block out maybe 2 hours, just a focus. I make sure that I'm not multitasking. If I'm studying, I'm only doing for math and stats, and that'll be it. I won't even have any emails open or YouTube or anything like that. I'll just have the homework I need to do or the textbook open that I need to study. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good habit to have. I personally don't really block off time. What I do is I take my classes during the time periods that they are, and then I try to do the assignments either right after that class. So I'm still fresh in that, if I have math before, then I'm already in the math mindset. So I try to do my homework right after, or I kind of just continue on with my school day. So I try to work continuously, I guess. If I start my day off with class, I try to fill any empty spaces between my classes with study or homework time. That way I'm always in the academic mindset, but when I'm doing other things, I can completely, forget about it and take a full break. So I guess I don't save time slots specifically for studying, but I do incorporate breaks a lot into my schedule, because something that's super important to me and to a lot of people is taking breaks once in a while, just so you don't get tired or burnt out. So every probably hour or two, I take maybe a 5 to 10 minute break to do whatever it is. And sometimes during those times, I check my emails. Sometimes I go on social media, or sometimes I just take a really short nap. It depends, kind of. But I like to work all at once and then take breaks in between, I guess.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I personally don't do that. I forget what the method is called. I've seen it online. I tried it. It's worked for me pretty well.
Oh.
The 20-minute work period, then 5-minute break.
Yeah, I've heard of that too. It's the tomato plan. I forget. Something like that.
But it works for some people. I've tried it out. It's worked for me, kind of. I'm in a really good state, and I'm really focused, that I usually won't take that break. But for the most part, I'll need those like 5 minutes just to like recharge and give myself a break. And during this, I usually just honestly I just I go to my kitchen, get a glass of water, maybe like I snack on things, and I just get back to studying.
Yeah.
I think a good habit is really honestly to stay off your phone even during these breaks.
Yeah.
I noticed for me, when I get on my phone, I just like get into a really different mindset. Like, if I go on TikTok or Instagram, it kind of like breaks my flow. Even though I mean I had taken a break, right? But once I hop back into it, it's like it's a little harder to
get back. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I go on social media, I usually pick a time that I'm going to end, like that I promised myself to like get off at. So if I'll say, okay, when it's 3:15, I'll go back. When it's 3, or I'll set alarms or timers, because I'm like that too, where I like, if I get on an app, I won't get off, and it's kind of bad. So I also deleted like TikTok, because I know how sucked in it's super easy to get sucked into those apps. So I try not to go on them, especially during those breaks. But in general, definitely like YouTube. If I go on YouTube, I usually try to watch a video that's around the same time period as my break. So I'll watch like a 5 or 10 minute video instead of like, I'll watch part of a 30-minute video. You know what I mean? And then also, like you mentioned, snacks. I like to personally have snacks like next to me while I'm studying, so I don't feel distracted. And I'm like, I don't try to get up and go and grab a snack or water. I like have everything around me. That way it doesn't really break my flow of work, I guess.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, so sorry, kind of a tangent, but I did want to mention this another healthy college habit. It is something, it is a habit I have been trying to work on. It's been on and off, but just like kind of getting more active. So I've been trying to walk more, like at night, a bit cooler. I think now it's like towards like, it's been pretty cool the last week. I think winter/fall is coming finally. So that's good. But yeah, because, I think currently mostly, if not everyone, is kind of stuck in front of their computer screen for most of the day with lectures, classes, work, even homework, like everything is on a computer screen sitting down. So I found it really beneficial to, go on these walks at night and even stretch, just to like my body relax and make sure I'm just using the muscles so it doesn't really like, is that right word? Decay? Okay, that's not the right word. So keep your muscles like fresh, right? So
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for the beginning of quarantine, but as I got busier, it was one of the things I started to drop, I guess. And like we kind of talked about this last week 2 weeks ago in our podcast, where we talked about the myth, the triangle myth, where you balance certain things. And I kind of had to drop exercise for academics and social life, more academics than social life. But I definitely do plan on like bringing that back, because it was kind of nice to just be able to take a walk and not think about anything, and then come right back to the same mindset, like to be like, okay, I'm ready to study now, I guess. But yeah, since I can't really do that right now, especially because it's kind of scary in Riverside at nighttime. I don't know if this really counts as like a shift in mindset, but I try to leave my favorite subjects for like the end, or I'll try to I don't know what the word is. Like I'll do like STEM classes, and then I'll do the arts and writing and whatnot. And then I'll switch back and forth. So I'll take, I'll do my English assignment, and then I will do some sort of mathematical calculation, and then I'll go back to discussion boards, and I go back and forth. But I usually leave math for last, because I like math the most, and I look forward to it. So that way, when I'm starting to burn out and I'm starting to get tired, I still have something I'm kind of looking forward to like doing at the end. So it like helps me keep going, if that makes sense.
That's interesting. I have a question then. Like, what if you don't enjoy any of your subjects? What would you do then?
I personally never experienced that. I usually do find my classes entertaining or interesting. That's kind of why I take them. But I have taken a quarter where I didn't like any of my classes. I try to choose one that I like the most, or I try to choose the one with the least amount of work, or like a class where it's like busy works to do at the end. That way it's like I just have to do it and get it over with, and then I can check that off my list, and then I'll feel like super accomplished. So I get the same, I guess, energy or feeling when I'm done with it as like if I were finishing my favorite subject.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you do?
Honestly, I usually just do my assignments by priority.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's like whichever is due first, that's the one I kind of do. There is an exception just because one of my courses I have like it has such a large workload. I usually do it the latest, but I started like after I started like what is one of my first assignments I start during the week just because it's so much homework and it takes a long time to do. So that is the only exception. For the most part, I do it by priority. So like whichever is due first, I do it.
Yeah, I don't do that at all. I don't know if this is like a healthy habit per se, but like a tip that I like someone told me a while ago was just to like write down everything that you have due that week. I personally do it for the entire quarter. So the first day of the school year, when we get the syllabus, I write every single assignment down on this, I guess it's like a calendar sheet. And then from there, I kind of try to finish up any small assignments early on if I'm able to do it, or I try to do it as soon as I get it. That way I have more time to kind of work on surprise assignments that your professors will add on out of nowhere, or I have more time to work on bigger assignments and other extracurriculars. So I have a more balanced life, I guess. So it's like, it kind of depends on your personality. Like I personally like to check things off. So I don't do it necessarily in the order of importance. I do it like order of size, I guess, and how much time it's going to take, because I'd rather have less things on my list, even if it's bigger, rather than finishing my bigger ones first and then moving on.
Yeah, definitely. So go on another tangent. So what are some tips you would give to students kind of trying to build new habits or wanting to pick up a habit? Do you have any tips for them on how to get started?
Yeah, I'd say my parents always said this to me, but they would say anything you continuously do for 3 to 7 days, you're going to be able to make it like a cyclical routine. Try to build your healthy habits into your daily routine, and it'll be easier to be consistent and maintain it. So I guess my biggest advice or tip would be like, work it into your routine so it'll become a consistent part of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I know people probably heard, but like it takes 30 days to have it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently it takes 30 days to build a habit. But I actually want to give a few different tips. So I have 2 tips. This may kind of go against what I just said about the 30 days and stuff. So there is this one pretty popular YouTuber, Matt Davila. I have incorporated his rule. It's like you can't skip 2 days in a row. So let's say you're just starting going to the gym, right? If you really need that rest day, you can take that rest, but you can't do it 2 days in a row, right? So that's like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Golden rule. I've tried it. I think it's really helpful just because honestly, like some days you're just really lazy and you don't think you can do it. But then if you stick to that rule, then the next day you just have to go, you know? So I feel
obligated to go. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is, it doesn't matter how much you do as long as you do it, if that makes sense. So back to that kind of the exercise thing, right? Like you can literally, if you need to, just walk for 10 minutes instead. Like let's say your goal is like to walk an hour every day, but honestly, like you're not feeling it. Just go walk for 10 minutes. You know, once you start, it's like, wait, I'm already here. I have the time. I might as well keep walking, right? But it's like at least, you know, and if you feel like you really don't want to walk today, you can go home and call it a day. But at least got that 10 minutes of walking, you know? So those are like really the 2 tips I would give. Like do a little bit. Everything, something is not nothing, right? And then the other one,
Yeah.
And the other one is can't do 2 days in a row. So do not skip 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I think I've definitely also incorporated that into my class schedules. I try not to some of your classes are recorded, and it's really tempting not to go to class, but it's super important to be able to, listen to that class period when it's happening, or like at least during that day. It's like same thing like what you said. Try not to let more than 2 or 3 lectures pile up, because once you start to form that bad habit, it's super easy to fall behind on your academics. And that kind of goes for any responsibility that you have. Like once you let it, pile up, once you skip 2 days in a row, like it kind of becomes a bad habit of yours, and it becomes a bad routine of yours.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Totally agree. Really important. Well, that will actually be the conclusion of our podcast for today. But I would like to leave you guys with some food for thought. So actually, what are some habits that you hope to build, and how will you achieve them? Good luck. Put down in the comments, maybe some habits you want to build so you can give others an idea of some habits. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for making it this far. We hope you enjoyed the podcast and hope you tune in next time.
Yeah. So podcasts will be released every other week on Thursdays. So they will be released during the odd weeks of our quarter. And we also can be found on our social media. So check out at UCR FBLA on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you.